Hello friends, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to discuss about software testing interview questions part 1. The first question is, what is the difference between project and product? The project between project and product is as follows. The first point in project is that project is something that is developed based on a specific requirement that is given by the customer. The first point in product is that product is something like a ready-to-use solution provided by the company, or product is something that is developed based on the overall market need. The next point in project will have a specific timeline like start date and end date. The next point in product is that product does not have any timeline for end date. The next point in project, we will have predictive planning for project. And next point in product is that we will have adaptive planning for product. The next point in project is that project is one-time delivery. Next point in product is that product is continuously improved. The examples of project is that HDFC, ICICI, Big Basket, etc. The examples in product are OS, Microsoft Office, antivirus, etc. The next question, what is the difference between black box testing and white box testing? The difference is as follows. White box, white box testing, in which it is also called as clear box testing, structural testing, glass box testing, code-based testing. Black box testing, in which it is also called as behavioral testing, data-driven testing, functional testing, etc. White box testing is a software testing method which is used to test the internal structure of the build or code. Black box testing is a software testing method which is used to test functionalities of the build without having any knowledge on the internal structure of the application. White box testing is generally done by the development team. Black box testing is done by testing team. White box testing is considered as low-level testing and it mainly focuses on unit and integration testing. Black box testing is considered as high-level testing and mainly focuses on system testing and user acceptance testing, that is UAT. White box testing is focused on the structure of code, paths, and branches. Black box testing is focused on external or end user perspective. Different white box testing techniques are statement coverage, branch coverage, and path coverage. The different black box testing techniques are BVA, ECP, error guessing state, transition technique, cause effect graph, etc. The next question, what are the different reasons for bugs in software? Miscommunication. Miscommunication is the most common reason for the bugs in the application. The lack of communication or pure communication between the teams in different phases in the SDLC process can make defects unnoticed until the development is complete. Poorly developed code. Sometimes poor development standards like miscalculated exceptions or errors, lack of proper validation on fields or boundaries may lead to bugs in the applications. Next point, insufficient time frame. At times, development teams have to compromise on certain things like designing, unit, or integration testing because of the lack of time or tight delivery schedule, which will lead to defects in the application. Last minute change request. If we try to change anything like requirements, tools, platform, database, etc., at the end of the development process, we might get bugs in the application. Next point, unclear or complex requirements. The development team have to understand each and every requirement in order to develop them. The next question, what is software testing? Software testing is a process of verifying that is the application system or build that was developed is to fit to used by the user. Software testing is the process of finding bugs in the developed product by comparing expected results that we have with the actual results we get from the application. Software testing is a process that we follow on the application to check whether The developed application is fulfilling the requirements of the customer or client. Software testing is a process of evaluating the application with the intent to find whether the developed software met the requirement specification and to detect the bugs in the process. The next question, advantages and disadvantages of manual testing. Advantages of manual testing. Manual testing does not need any programming skills. Manual testing is easy to perform when compared to automation, which involves coding. Manual testing is done to decide whether automation is required or not. Manual testing will be the ideal testing approach for the dynamically changing graphical user interface, that is GUI. Manual testing will cost less when compared to automation testing. As manual testing involves humans, we will get accurate interface feedback. With manual testing, we will get exact replication of the user experience on the application. In manual testing, we will be able to handle complex use cases better than in automation testing. Manual testing is more reliable than automation. Next point is disadvantages of manual testing. Manual testing requires more resources and time. It will be very difficult to perform performance testing. Executing all the test cases in every build manually will be a time consuming and tiresome task. Performing regression test manually will be time consuming. It is difficult to find each and every minute GUI changes in manual testing. The sixth question, what is the difference between test plan and test strategy? Strategy in which it is high-level document that contains a set of guidelines which explains the test design and determine how testing needs to be done. The first point is test plan. Test plan is a document that defines the scope and approach to the test the application. Test strategy tell us what type of techniques to follow and what modules to be tested. Test plan tell us that what to be tested, how to be tested, and when to test. Test strategy is derived from FRS document. Test plan is derived from SRS document. Test strategy is prepared by project manager. Test plan is prepared by test manager. Test strategy cannot be changed frequently. Test plan will be changed. We can use the same test strategy for multiple projects. Test plan will at project level. Test strategy will be used as a part of test plan. Test plan is prepared individually. The next question, what is the difference between system testing and functional testing? The first point is in functional testing is that it is also called as component testing, which focuses on testing every component of the application according to the requirement of the customer. The first point in system testing is that system testing is a level of testing which focuses on testing the entire application against the requirements of the customer. Functional testing focuses on individual components. System testing focuses on entire application from start to finish. Functional testing comes under system testing. System testing is combination of functional and non-functional testing. The next question, what is the difference between static testing and dynamic testing? Static testing in which without doing any actions on the system, if we try to test the application, it is called as static testing. Dynamic testing in which by doing same action on the system, if we try to test the application, it is called the dynamic testing. Static testing is also called as verification. Dynamic testing is also called as validation. Static testing is done on the documents like FRS, design documents, source code, test plans, test cases, test scripts, and application contents. Dynamic testing is done on the functionalities of the application. Different static testing types are inspections, walkthroughs, and reviews. Different dynamic testing techniques are unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and acceptance testing. The next point in static testing. Static testing is performed at the early stages of SDLC. Dynamic testing is performed at the later stages of SDLC. The next question is, what is the difference between verification and validation? In verification are we build in the product right. The validation in which Validation, are we building the right product? Verification is used to check whether the application fulfills the given specifications. Validation is used to check whether the application is satisfying the requirements of the customer. Verification is also called as static testing. Validation is called as dynamic testing. Verification, it does not involve any execution of code. Validation involves in executing the code. Verification process checks the documents, designs, codes, etc. by using the methods like reviews, walkthroughs, inspections, etc. Validation process tests the actual application by using the methods like black box testing and white box testing, etc. Verification process finds the bugs early in the SDLC. Validation process finds the bugs in the later stages or SDLC. It finds the bugs that are mostly missed in verification. The next question, what is the difference between QA and QC? QA, that is QA stands for quality assurance and QC stands for quality control. The first point in quality assurance is that QA checks that the procedures and standards that we are following for the application development process is appropriate and are correctly executed. The first point in quality control, that is QC, checks that the application is developed by following all standards and procedures that needs to be followed and to identify the defects in the developed application. QA aims to prevent the defects or bugs in the application. QC aims to identify and fixing the defects and bugs. QA does not involve execution of the functionalities of the build. QC involves the execution of the functionalities. QA comes under the category of verification. QC comes under the category of validation. QA is performed in almost every phase of SDLC, and all the teams are responsible for this. QC is the responsibility of testing team in SDLC. QA is considered as low level and less time to consuming activity. QC is considered as high level and comparatively time consuming activity.